And a very good afternoon to you wherever you're watching us from the Republic of Kenya. This is TV47, you're right in time for the 1 p.m. news coverage. And my name is Samson, Jura. I'll be with you for the next 30 minutes or so to ensure you are up to speed with everything happening across the 47 counties of the Republic of Kenya, across our borders and beyond. Let's begin this broadcast with the highlights. Top on news now. Heavy downpour devastate Kitui, destroying Katama Primary School. Meanwhile, more than 1,000 children affected by floods in Gaza village, Tana Delta, receive new clothes for Eid celebrations. Also, a historic milestone for the Ajuran clan as Ahmed Abdisalam Ibrahim becomes its first ever principal secretary in government. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at TV47 Kenya. You can also reach us through our socials at TV47 News KE on X and TV47 KE on IG. You can also tag me on my personal handle at OJ Samsons. 22047 is the short SMS code. The hashtag on X is TV47 News Now. Thank you for choosing us to inform you. Your time is greatly appreciated. Let's begin. 6 classrooms and offices from Katama Primary School in Mumoni, Kitui County have been swept away by strong winds accompanied by heavy downpour. Amongst the classes destroyed are the newly grade 9 classrooms currently constructed by the national government through the Ministry of Education. The destruction has left the parents and teachers devastated as the pupils have been forced to share classrooms. The end of term exams were also paralyzed following the destruction, and the school fraternity is pleading with well-wishers from both county and national government to step in and help restore learning operations in the school.
Tumepata hasara kubwa. Tunauliza tu wakubwa wetu, kwa sababu tuko na wakubwa, tuko na MCA, tuko na MP, tuko na governor na tuko na wengine wengi wale ambao wanaweza kutusaidia. Kwa sababu hawa wazazi hawana uwezo na mtihani inaendelea, masomo inaendelea. Sasa tunauliza tu vile tunaweza kupata usaidizi tuweze kujenga madarasa tena, watoto waweze kusoma vizuri. Tuko na idadi ya watoto 210 wanafunzi. Kwa hivyo nashukuru wale tu watasikia, wataona huruma, waweze kutusaidia tuweze kurudisha madarasa pamoja na ofisi tuweze kuendelea na kusoma. Nashukuru.
Na tunaendelea tu kutafuta pesa ya watoto wa kule nyumbani. Sasa tukianza kujenga tutafanya nini sasa? Sasa tunauliza hata nyinyi tu mnaweza tu kutupatia misaada tusaidike ili tujenge shule yetu ili tuweze kuendelea. Sasa hatunjui tufanye nini, watoto wafanye mitihani kuanza kesho kwa sababu kumua kwa karibu.
Wazazi wangu hawawezi. Na saa hizi ni wakati wa mitihani. Hata sijui watoto wangu au watoto wanafanyia mitihani wapi. Kwa hivyo nauliza tu kwa wale ambao wako na roho safi ambao wanaweza kutusaidia, wakisikia hii watusaidie.
Moving on, a number of villages in Tana River County still residing in camps after being displaced by past floods have received food packages from President William Ruto. Additionally, Good Samaritan donated new clothes to the affected families in preparation for Eid, for the upcoming Eid celebration. While addressing the residents, Garsen Member of Parliament Ali Wario stated that the food donation will sustain the affected families for a few weeks.
See, today is 300 bags of rice and 260 bags of beans, or 50 kgs. So every family will get at least something to eat for the remaining part of Ramadan. And the other food is on the way coming. So we really appreciate His Excellency the President for this effort.
Kuletwa hapa baadhi ya watu ambao sasa wanapata hii chakula ni watu ambao sasa hali yao iko duni kabisa, hali yao ni ile ya mwisho kabisa, hawajiwezi. Kwa hivyo sasa hivi vile hii chakula kimekuja na serikali imetukumbuka kutuletea hii chakula, tumeshukuru Mungu na serikali yetu, Mungu aibariki.
Jamii ambao wako huku wako katika hali ya chini, tunaomba sana Mheshimiwa Rais akishirikiana na Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, tunaona kwamba hii nchi mahali tunaona kuna umaskini wa juu, kuna vijana ambao wanahitaji kazi, kuna jamii ambao kwamba wanahitaji kusonga mbele kiuchumi, kielimu, kila kitu.
Ile uko naye kidogo lazima ukule na ndugu yako, ukule na dada yako. Sawa sawa? Hivyo tu ndio basi utakuwa Muislamu halisi.
Youth from all over the 47 counties have emerged to reject the list of 16 youth circulating on social media who claim to be the interim committee of the National Youth Council. The protesters who are ready for grassroots elections, as previously outlined by the former Youth Affairs Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, are calling for the current CS to allocate funds to organize the elections. They also urged the CS to take action against those who are spreading false claims about the interim council, which is causing unease. The youth demand the removal of the 16 names, fearing that their involvement could delay the NYC elections.
Tumeona kwamba kuna vijana ambao hawataki kufuata njia inayostahili, wanataka kutumia njia ya mkato, kwamba wao waweze kubuni kikao chao wakielekeze kule mbele ili waweze kuona majina yao yachapishwe kwenye gazeti la kitaifa, eti wao ndio wanaongoza vijana wa Kenya. Nyinyi mnakubali hiyo mchezo kweli?
Tumekataa.
Mnakataa?
Tumekataa.
Mnakataa?
Tumekataa.
We, the contesting youth of the National Youth Council, firmly dismiss the illegal council as it risks delaying the elections and undermining the democratic process that should govern the establishment of the NYC.
Mavijana hapo mtaani, tunataka mchague viongozi wenyu hapo wenye mnatambua, wakifika pale juu nyinyi ndio watarepresent. Youth for youth,
NYC election.
I want to call upon the law enforcement officers that these criminals are going against the constitution and they should even be arrested. They should not come even near any government office. Vijana power.
Power. Hawa watu tunaomba waweze kuchukuliwa hatua. Tunaomba hatua iweze kuchukuliwa. Wale watu wasije wakafika mahali popote katika hizi kwa waziri yoyote ati wanaenda kuongea ati kama vijana. Sisi vijana tumejiamua na tunahakikisha na tunajijua, tuna nguvu, tutaingia kwenye mlingo wa siasa na tupige kampeni na tuweze kuchaguliwa.
The idea, the list that has been circulating online has actually subverted the constitution of Kenya, and we won't allow the subversion of the constitution of Kenya.
NYC elections.
Youth for youth,
NYC elections.
It's just a random thing.
Power.
Now, moving on, human rights organizations have condemned the ongoing encroachment in City Park Forest, particularly the Kibagari River, where schools and a temple have constructed private parking on the riverbed. Now, the Premier School and Premier Club recently called for public participation into this particular incident and want to discuss the expansion of the parking area and to be gazetted into a historical forest, sparking protest due to this. Activists argue that authorities responsible for protecting the forest are either neglect or compromised, failing to safeguard the site's historical ecological integrity. City Park Forest, which also houses colonial graves, holds immense historical significance.
Kibagari River ndio hii unaiona hapa ukiangalia. Kibagari River wametengeneza parking lot juu ya na kwa sababu ni matajiri na kwa sababu wana pesa wanaweza hongana. Hata sasa bado mkubwa wa hiyo shule aliposimama mbele yetu alituambia mkutano wa public participation umeisha, tuondoke. Kwa sababu aliona sisi wote tumesimama imara kwa wingi wa groups za Green Belt Movement ya Wangari Maathai. Kama sio Wangari Maathai kusimama na kukataa, hata Uhuru paka tungekuwa nayo.
We are not here to fight them. We are here to stand for justice. And the justice is that that is a public land. The title deed and the documents are there to show that that land was revoked by the president in 2020. The documents are there to show that. And it was gazetted as a historical site. We wanted to remain as such. And if they insist on pushing us and calling us, like the owner of the school called us bullshit, if they insist on insulting us, clearly we shall have to deal with them as a civil society, as friends of Karura, as friends of City Park.
Tension, encroachment kwa river. So mto imefunikwa hapa mahali tunafanyia interview, na ile hali serikali inasema wanataka 30 meters from the river. So ukihesabu 30 meters kutoka hapa mahali tumesimama, hii tempo haifai iko hapa. Inafaa iwe imetoka. The same to the adjacent Premier Club, Simba Club na hiyo shule.
To some matters health, the Association of Biomedical Engineering Kenya, AMEC, is calling on the Ministry of Health to fast-track their request for the formation of a regulatory body which will enhance professionalism and protect biomedics in the country. Speaking yesterday in Nairobi during the swearing-in of the newly elected officials, AMEC officials lamented the surge in the number of non-qualified biomedics in the profession who operate hospital equipment, leading to losses and damages. They called on the newly appointed Medical Principal Secretary for Medical Services, Dr. Ouma Oluga, to help in streamlining the sector and push for absorption of more biomedics in public and county government hospitals. During the event, Simon Mbaka was elected AMEC chairman, with Hesbon Obaigwa elected the new Secretary General, replacing Millicent Allo, who was elected the new organizing secretary.
For us to actually be able to streamline this, we are coming up with this bill that we are now passing through the Ministry of Health to be able to help us to regulate the training, to regulate the practice as well. In any streamlined government, you want any healthcare profession to be held accountable for whatever it is that they are practicing. What we are really vouching for, to even avoid these junkyards, is to have preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance can only be achieved if we have enough biomedical engineers employed at the facilities.
Omoluga, to pick that BOTs and fast track it, so that in the next few days we have a bill that can regulate. We have over 5,000 biomedical engineers trained in the country. And that's a complete number that if these people are not regulated, for sure. And we're only regulating training, registration, licensing, and practicing. We are not touching the products, because the bone of contention is the products. So as an association, we are advocating this so that the PS can really save the situation, so that we can, because we are ready to assist him to run the ministry as professionals, because our work entails ensuring that the
I, Millicent Allo, having been appointed as the organizing secretary for the Association of Medical...
The top 25 women and girls have been awarded for their outstanding contribution to the growth of Kenya's digital industry and shaping of the technology industry. According to UNESCO, there's a significant gender parity in the tech sector in Kenya, with women holding less than 30% of digital technology positions. The gap is attributed to a limited access to education and training in ICT field for girls, leading to an underrepresentation in tech careers throughout their lives.
To see it grow. Amazing. All right.
Today we are celebrating women. Being March the Women Month, we are celebrating the achievements of women, but specifically women in technology. And simply because this is a space that we believe will shape the future and impact as many people as possible.
As we advance this agenda about more women in STEM, we need to create support systems, we need to create community, there's power in community, and we need to create those environments and platforms that enable the young girls to have an ecosystem to leverage off, to be able to challenge the bias, number one, to be able to encourage each other, to be able to get mentorship, and then to be able to overcome all these challenges and progress within their career in the tech industry.
I made sure I participated because they were talking on very sensitive issues and things that I want to know and grow in, such things as personal branding, business strategy, and just selling yourself out there. And I made sure that I got all that they were talking about, so that's how I got to be the best girl in the techie award.
The Civil Society Reference Group Kenya has held its annual General Assembly, coinciding with a referendum on the review of its constitution and the election of National and County Oversight Committee members. Speaking during the event, National Returning Officer Stephen Kabiri urged the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to embrace digital voting systems, citing benefits such as transparency, verifiability, and cost efficiency.
Abduction! Down! Government power! The PBO Act, it has been mentioned. The Act is very clear that there should be consultation and cooperation between the PBOs and the government. We are aware that the government is already appointing people in the board, the federation, without the participation of the PBOs and the people.
Advocating for people power. Na hii docket ambayo mmenipea ya policy and advocacy ina handle hiyo mambo ya policies, regulations, sheria na katiba kwa ujumla inatupea sisi wa Kenya what we call the sovereign power, which comes in different forms. Kuna ile haki ya kuamua chakula ya kupanda, chakula ya kukula, ambayo tunaona ni kama serikali inatupokonya. Hatuwezi sema tuko free na watu wengine huko nje ndio wanakuja kuamua ni nini tunapanda.
Mzime najua vitu ambayo zinafaa tuweke wazi kwa sababu kwa sasa hatuna opposition na pia sisi ndio opposition yenye tumekuja na lazima tusimame na Wakenya ya kuambia Wakenya ya kwamba hii ndio ukweli yenye tunataka.
Elected at the core convener for mutual protection Nairobi County. We are going to ensure that the issues of disappearance, extrajudicial killings, the issues of femicide come to an end.
Na tutadili na mambo ya corruption, public participation, na issues za gender-based violence, femicide. We shall come to you.
In promoting research, innovation and excellence in higher learning education, KCA University has officially broken ground for its 7 billion Kenya shillings master plan in line with the 2024-2028 strategic plan and a commitment to provide world-class education and to foster a holistic student-centric environment. The event was graced by Professor Chacha Nyaigoti, the chairman of the Commission for University Education, to mark the first phase of the master plan. This phase will see the institution invest 1.7 billion Kenya shillings into a multi-level academic building designed to meet the evolving needs of modern education.
And inclusivity features.
We have had cases where people have been collected in a room and within 3 days or 4 days they just write their names down and they are awarded degrees up to PhD. And I think it is very mind-boggling. That is what we are fighting. We are fighting that vice.
For us, this building is the first of many. The project is going to cost roughly about 7 billion over the next few years. But this multi-purpose educational center hosts our innovation center. It will host lecture theaters. It will have a fantastic world-class auditorium that can be used by our students, but as well as other people.
Youth belong in the same bag. So what our good government should be doing is to have effort how they can make education accessible through the taxation. Yeah? The taxes that we collect should go to fund education with an ultimate goal of making it 100% accessible even to the person with zero income, even to the billionaire. Because if I'm a billionaire, I'm paying taxes as a percentage of the billion.
Still on matters education, the National Treasury has been urged to work closely with the Ministry of Education to ensure the timely release of capitation to schools, the essential factor for the smooth operation and financial stability. The call was made by education leaders and stakeholders during the Kangema Sub-County Education Day at Kiangunyi Girls Secondary School. Our reporter Robert Gakure has more details on this.
School heads continue to express their frustration over delays in the release of capitation funds, citing significant challenges in managing school operations.
Even today, when we are...
As a result, leaders and education stakeholders are urging the Ministry of Finance to prioritize education funding, warning that continued delays could compromise the quality of learning.
I wish the ministry, immediately after the budget release, immediately after the process has gone by September, they start releasing the capitation money promptly, so that we may not have that crisis where even students don't have even food, or they don't have some materials which are extremely important for studying.
During the Kangema Sub-County Education Day, education officials highlighted notable improvements in student performance within the constituency. They attributed this progress to the effective implementation of the competency-based curriculum CBC.
Tunaambiwa tuna develop skills katika hata huyu mtaala wa CBC. Kwa hivyo tusiwachilie watoto wakuwe very lazy pale nyumbani. Ili tukifungua shule, wale watoto tuliachilia, tupate watoto ambao wana hiyo nidhamu.
Meanwhile, Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro has emphasized the need for a stronger focus on science, technology, engineering and mathematics STEM education. He underscored the critical role of STEM subjects in equipping students with the skills needed for the future.
The opportunities of the current world are opportunities around STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we must encourage our country not to be left behind when it comes to dispensations of the world.
Speaking at a prize-giving ceremony at Kahuya Girls High School, Nyoro urged the Ministry of Education to enhance support for STEM integration within the curriculum.
Mathematics must continue to be a very primary subject in our learning institutions. Sciences must continue to be a very important segment of our curriculum.
Robert Gakure, TV47, Muranga.
God bless you.
As the holy month of Ramadan concludes tomorrow, a section of Muslim leaders here in Nairobi have described the prayer period as a perfect season for all Muslims to pray for peace and shun bad deeds. Speaking in South Sea while distributing relief food to the underprivileged in society, Mohammed Salat asked all Muslim believers to consider their brothers and sisters without food to accommodate everyone during the holy month of Ramadan.
Group CEO for Haz Petroleum, and it's my honor and pleasure today to be in partnership with the Zamzam Foundation and the rest of the team and sharing the little we can with our brothers and sisters who are fasting. It's been a month-long journey. We're coming almost to the end of Ramadan, and it's my hope and prayer what we've just started will continue in many forms and shape. We believe in giving back to our community and our society, and this is just a way of giving back to our brothers and sisters who are fasting in this very holy month of Ramadan. As you know, the virtues of Ramadan is about sharing, is about caring, and that's what we are trying to do in our small way and form.
We've created this relationship, this synergy to work together within the community, not only during Ramadan, but only during Eid, to distribute some clothes to the poor, to also do zakat with the poor. With the zakat now we are collecting, some of the money we are collecting will go to zakat to the poor communities within the community. Anybody or any other well-wishers also want to support us through that, they can support us. We are also helping orphan children. Haz Foundation also champions in helping orphan children.
Let's take a look at what is happening in sports, and let's go to Hong Kong, where the national men's rugby sevens team Shujaa will